our cardinal directions, starting out in the building. We're going to use Chris Pohl as our basis for establishing cardinal directions, so that from here we can learn address systems and numbering systems downtown, street numbering systems, and cardinal directions. So you've heard me share with you that I use Lamar as a sort of a dividing line or a reference point in Austin to figure out if I'm north or south, the river. And then I personally use Mopac as a reference point to figure out east-west, but that's because I'm on the freeway a lot and I drive. I don't think that's a good reference point for somebody who uses public transit. So we will figure out our own, dividing line. But I'm sorry, I-35 is the east-west. I use Mopac for my near reference point for that. But and then of course when you're home, something we talked about is you're going to figure out what your reference points are in your local community to make those same determinations. And we've used a map, Google Maps, to sort of get an idea of that, but then you can transfer that skill home to use cardinal directions. And you don't have to have an internal compass, right? Because I don't have one. I don't know if I've shared this with you, but when I go to a new town or a mini training, I try and figure out, especially because I'm mini teaching or whatever, I try to figure out how am I going to establish my cardinal directions in that area, usually at the training site, because I'm going to be hopefully exposing people to the concept of cardinal directions. And when I get to a new town, I don't know where north, south, unless I'm really close to the beach, where I use like the shore, right? Because I know the shore in Texas, can give me how far, I know that's usually, maybe it's gonna be south. But I use a compass to establish, a general north, south, east, west. So all that to say, you can do that in your areas too. But once you have it figured out in your hometown, you should not need a compass after that. You should be able to use these reference points to know generally. Some things are a little wonky. For example, my house, I say it faces east, but it kind of faces northeast. But you should then not have to use a compass unless you go to a totally new area. And even then, if you're in a totally new area, I guess the question is how long will you be there, right? Because if you're going to be there for a couple days or a day, you just use your compass. But if it's where you're moving, or something like that, then it'll be important to have that those reference points. So all of that being said, we're going to start with Chris Pohl as our quote home. It is your home, right? And so we're going to build a map of Chris Pohl. We're going to start with what we call the residential side. The residential side of the building is north. So I don't know, sometimes you can use little tricks to remember those things. They're best if you come up with them. But for me, I just think that everybody lives on that residential side. It's north, and then south is all the classes, counseling, all the training stuff. And then of course that there's a east wing and a west wing. And
I know industrial arts is southeast. Right?
It's south. But that's why this will be a good lesson, because it is actually on the southwest side. But as we build this map, I think it'll make more sense. So that gives me, a good reference point for us to start. So we're going to start with the residential side, and then we're going to add the training side to it, and I think you'll see why it's on the southwest side of the building. Okay. So what we're going to consider our reference point here is, let's use the residential desk. That's where you officially exit residential life and go toward training life, right? So if this is the residential desk, just the edge here, this is this one. This hallway is what you call
Broadway.
Yes, Broadway. Just right here. So what I would like you to do you know if the residential desk is here, and we said it's on the north side.
Mhm.
Do you know which direction then this Broadway runs? Meaning,
South.
and also, if
It goes north and
yes,
south.
north and south. Perfect. Okay. So can you add the east and west hallways to this?
That's west. That's east.
Okay, so if the residential desk is here, that's your west side, that's your east side, which is good. So can you now place the lounges?
This would be the east lounge,
And then
and this would be the west lounge.
Very good. So there's also a hallway on this side that connects these two sides, right? Yes. So we haven't named that hallway. We can, we may not need to, but do you know which direction that hallway runs?
if Broadway runs north and south,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna assume this hallway runs east and west.
Yep, very good. And that is a basic, and when you're, traveling down a hallway that runs east and west, you're walking either east or west.
Right.
And it's nice that you already have these built-in reference points. The hallways, you know which side do you live on?
I live on the east.
Very good. And let me ask you this: if you were in your room in the east side of the building, do you know? Are you on? If Broadway, let's say, splits the building. Okay, we're gonna say it splits it. That's our dividing line. Just like I said, the I-35 is my dividing line between east and west.
Mhm.
So we're gonna call Broadway the dividing line between east and west.
Okay.
So, if that were the case, which side of the building would the auditorium be on? And you can point to it on this map if you want, if that helps. It's Broadway.
East.
Very good. So, which side would industrial arts be on?
East.
So, are the auditorium and industrial arts on the same side of Broadway? And you can definitely use this and do that.
Okay. This is residential.
Mhm.
If
I'm going down.
south, right?
Let me move this because this was that was our hallway there. So just get this up just so that we keep nails. Okay, it's residential. Okay.
So if I'm going south, right?
Mm-hmm.
Counseling is literally at the end.
Yep.
So, and then I take a right.
So the reason I'm thinking it's east is because when I take a
Right from north to south, and then I take a right. I guess that's what I'm doing.
So let's just do this. So here's counseling. Here's the auditorium. Where would industrial arts be?
Okay, this is the audit, so it would be over here.
There you go.
Okay.
So
That would be on the west side.
yes.
Okay.
If we're using this as our dividing line, right? So anytime we're figuring out which side of the building something's on in terms of east and west, we can use Broadway. And upstairs, what's great about this building, where we are now,
Same as
it's the same. So this main hallway is also going to run that same direction, to be our dividing line.
Okay.
So, if we want to make it really interesting, let's transfer this concept upstairs to where we are now. Okay. So, this being that main hallway, that technology is on one side and adaptive skills is on the other. Do you know, I'm going to remove these right now, do you know where we are? If this were our dividing line.
If this is the elevator, right?
So
Yeah,
if this is the elevator and this is the main hallway, we actually come out and we're facing it, right?
Right. Okay. So that would be on the west side.
Yes.
So
I think tech.
would be on the east side.
So the first part we're gonna use to divide up here is we're gonna try to transfer the concept of north and south right here. Now it's a little different because it's not as long, like meaning that really we're still on the training side. Okay, so technically we're on the south side of the building. All the training happens on the south side of the building, including upstairs, right?
Right, okay.
So
So it would be either southeast or southwest. Is that?
yeah, I mean it could be, or if we wanted to break down this concept and transfer it upstairs with some modifications, you could create sort of a new reference point, meaning when you come out of the elevator, if you go left, that's north, because it technically, if you go left, you'd be walking north,
Okay.
or if you make a right when you come out of the elevator,
South.
you're walking south. So we can use that concept up here and say that the tech area is north
Okay.
and that the adaptive skills area
South.
is south,
Okay.
right? Because we're walking that direction, meaning we would be walking toward the residential desk or toward your room if that hallway continued down, just the direction we're walking.
Right, okay.
Because we, just like Broadway,
Mhm.
this main hallway up here runs north and south.
Okay.
So when you walk down it, you have to be walking either north or south.
Okay.
Alright? So that being said, let's say that the tech area in general is on the north side
Okay.
and the adaptive skills area in general is on the south side, right?
Alright.
Okay. Now, when we get to the end of the main hallway up here, we have an intersecting hallway, right?
Right.
So that intersecting hallway would run which direction?
If this is north and south.
So this is gonna be east and west.
Very good. So, if the big kitchen is generally right here, right, because you kind of walk kind of right into it, the classroom that we're in right now is actually very end of it here.
Right.
So, here's where I'm gonna give you a minute to process this and think about it.
Okay.
So, if this runs east and west, do you know which side of the hallway we're in right now? The east side or the west side? You can use things like, where's the auditorium, where's your room, where is Broadway or Main, all as hints to answer that question.
I think it's south.
It's definitely gonna be south.
Southwest.
So, let's do it this way. We're gonna have you come, here's the elevator, okay? So, can I touch your hand? We'll do this together, or you can put your hand on mine either way. So we're coming out of the elevator, okay? We come to this hallway, that you're correct, we're gonna walk south, right? We walk south, we make a turn,
Left.
with a left turn,
Right.
so which direction would that be?
West.
So, is it, you can use your never ate soggy worms, or you
That's what I'm doing.
okay, since that's not working, we can ask ourselves, do you know where, for example, the auditorium would be below us? Would it be directly below us, or would it be way on the other side of the building?
It's gonna be on the other side of the building.
It's actually directly below us. Because imagine we're walking down, we're gonna transfer this concept, we're walking down Broadway.
Right.
Walking down Broadway, we're heading south. We make a left
Okay.
to go to the auditorium, right?
Right.
So if we're coming out this hallway, which runs exactly the same way, and we make a left, and that's
Okay.
our room.
Right.
So that's actually, which side did we say we're on up here? Or we haven't yet? Auditorium's on the opposite side of the building from IA, right? And we said that IA is on the west side,
East side.
east side.
Okay. East side.
So do you see how that concept transfers up here?
Yes.
Do you really, or do you want to kind of, I think maybe using your finger to do that and to say out loud, I make a left and I'm heading
Broadway, upstairs.
south.
Left. Right above the auditorium.
Yep. Make a left to go east. Make a right to go west. what's really here, you can head west once you get into the big kitchen, but kind of the big kitchen's like at the end of the hallway. But on the same side as,
Industrial arts.
yes, and O&M would actually be below you when you're in that far west side of the kitchen there.
Okay. Does that make sense? Yeah.
So, if we wanted to leave the auditorium, leave that there for a second, the auditorium at least. We're gonna pretend we're downstairs again. Here's the auditorium. Here's counseling. Okay. Here's the residential desk. If we were leaving the auditorium, share with me which side of the building you're on, and you're traveling to the residential desk.
I'm on the east side of the building. So
You're walking which direction now? If that's east and you're walking away from it, you're going.
I want to say going west.
Yep.
and then I turn, and then I
direction
go,
you turn.
I turn right, and then I would be going north
Very good.
down to residential.
Perfect. Okay. So, if we were transferring that concept upstairs, again, what's nice is these rooms are like almost on top of each other. So the room we're in, big kitchen, okay, and down here now is tech.
Okay.
So that concept transfers. So do the same thing,
So
but like you're
east,
going to the tech. So you're walking.
I'm looking west.
Mhm.
West
And then I get
to the right out here, and then I take a right.
west. Then I keep going. Take a right. North.
Headed north. Very
Headed
good.
north, and then I get to the tech.
Very good. And then it's got its own little sort of east-west side.
Yeah.
Do you see how that you can transfer that concept,
Yes.
you know, to something really anywhere now? And really, if we wanted to even, you know, if there were another building, there is, we can't go in there, but just right next to us, we could then transfer that same concept because we know that building is directly next door, right? And then we're gonna move to transfer that concept to Lamar outside, or Sunshine on the other side. If we were to step right outside, we know that Main, or Broadway, I'm sorry, runs parallel to Lamar and also to Sunshine. So we can then transfer that concept as we step outside into what we're gonna do next.
And I know when I step outside residential and I'm on that sidewalk, I'm going east.
Let's see. We're gonna talk that through when we get down there. Because you're saying once you exit residential doors and you're walking toward the sidewalk, you're headed east.
I think that's what we talked about last time.
Well, let me ask you this: would you be walking away or toward your room if you're walking out those residential doors?
Away from.
Away from. And if your room is on the east
I'll
side
be
of the
going
building,
west.
there you go. See how you can
Yeah.
slowly transfer that concept to your surrounding areas? Okay, let's go put it into practice.